Oh, well, hello my friends and patrons. I'm making a video here today to make sure that I get a video out on Sunday for my patrons if my webcams don't make it this week, because you know how shipping webcams takes a while and all that jazz. So not many people have responded to my vlog about the sale of a couple of my boats. So I figured we still have to repair a lot of hardware around here, so I'm still on a fundraising tour. So I also have this limited edition downtown deco kit, which looks like, you know, a small town mill, or not one of those mills that demands, like when you see it, the skyline. This mill is like the town, right? So it's a nice structure made out of hydrocal, and it is kit number 89. I don't really see how many kits were made. It's just limited edition, and this is 89. Also, now I lost, is like, I'm trying to raise funds because of hardware crashes and stuff like that. The logo on these t-shirts was on one of my old hard drives that is broken now. I don't really have the funds to get the files taken off of it, if it is even possible. It'll be $100 per hard drive to try to find this logo that I made years ago. And it's not always easy to put a logo together. I'm not like an expert at anything, and when I go to recreate this logo, it's going to be different, and I don't like that. So we'd like to get some money together to try to fix this, to get some more hard drives and stuff like that. So I pulled out the rest of the shirts I have. The only problem is I only have one size, extra large. So two in that bag. So make an offer. Like if it's, more than I paid for the shirts, go for it. If you want to make an offer on this kit, I'll even build it for you, or at least paint and put together all the sides. And then when you get it in the mail, all you have to do is follow the instructions to glue it together. Lickety split. Wouldn't be very hard at all. I guess I can show you basic sizes of the walls. This is the bottom portion of the kit. Oh look, I already started painting it. Here's the bottom portion of the kit, and yeah, still lots of work to do on it. Yeah, so there. Anyways, also the last way to chip in is patreon.com/Ron Perry, P-A-R-E, Perry, not Par, not Pierre, not Pear, Perry. We also have to build this kit, and the wall is glued down pretty solid, as you can see. Let's get to it. So let's move the camera in and do some modeling, shall we? So last time we laid down our wall added some basic vegetation on one side to get a feel of it, because I don't know exactly what I'm doing when I get into one of these models. Anybody who pretends that they know exactly what's gonna happen is just fooling you. I got a plan, but when I go to do this stuff, it's really very much a random act. So I like to start small in some ways and go big in others. So plopping the wall down on the foam is kind of like, you know, when you're an artist working on a canvas. You know, every canvas that I start, I have to go and just put a whack in it. You know, just dab a brush and a piece of paint and put a line on the thing. Otherwise, I can't start. I don't know where to start. I have to start from somewhere, and if I put a line on it, I'll fix it. And that's where it all begins. So we've got our barrels painted somewhat. We've got some splattered yellow around the outside here, and that's something that I would largely ignore on a smaller scale. But it just sticks out, and I'm visually impaired, so if I can see it, the people, people looking at it is going to see it, even if it is just my daughter. I wanted to point out also that, you know, now that the dirt is all dry 100%, we can see the different colors of, let's get in here nice and close, the different colors of the dirt. Okay. Oh, I gotta get these brushes out of here. I hate leaving the brushes and the paint gunk, because it actually embeds itself in your brushes, and then, so although I really like the paint gunk and do everything I can to keep it around, you can't leave the brushes in it, man. Brush care is important. I don't always do it though. Like, you'll know what I mean when you get a brush and it's all the bristles feel like they're not rock hard with dirt, but it's just feels like dried paint, but it's not. It's just gunk. Okay. So what were we gonna do? Oh yeah, the different colors of dirt. So in the beginning, we started with beach sand over here. Beach sand over here, limestone dust in the middle around here, and we can see some subtle changes in the coloring. Around the dividing point, I put down flock and turf, the Woodland Scenics flock and turf, the earth color, which is a foam with little pieces of yellow and light green, just a nice little color division between these two. It's not the easiest to see. I don't know what it looks like on the camera there, but it's significant enough that like, I'm not good at it right now, but this is stuff that I'm going to be working with, and you know, it's gonna develop over time. You know, like it all starts out as an idea, and you got to do something with it. This is me experimenting on my daughter. My daughter's going to use this, so it's just an experiment for my future projects. So we also made this really rickety old floor. It's going to sit on the inside. Now, we're going to build walls around this. These floors may look way out of whack to you. However, I'd like to point out that, you know, we're really not going to be... the idea of this is to design the indoors with a nice carpet or throw rug, or cabinets and walls and paintings on the wall, and then take a picture through the window. I don't know. Or maybe like all kinds of things, whatever she thinks of. I just want to get this down. For the inside walls, I'm going to use cereal box, braced with square wood stock. Well, this isn't square, but a piece of wood like this, but square. Those are going to be braced all the way around. And then on the other side of the bracing, the outside, I'm going to try to keep on collecting pieces of wood that'll fit along the profile of these pieces of wood right here. So I might have to contact Mount Albert Scale Lumber to try and get a load of this wood so that I could build it all the way around. I also think it would be neat to put in a few windows. We'll have to pull out the rest of my castings that I've got in large scale to see what we've got, and possibly put those in too. That's just an idea that just hit. Okay, let me think about what I want to do here. What do I want to do? I want to start fiddling with barrels for a bit. So I don't have my pigments fixer, so I'm not going to be using my pigments today. I think I'm going to be using my washes. I have to find... there. Okay, so we're not going to do this over the dirt because it'll ruin it very quickly. We'll remove our floor and work over the foam. So I'm going to experiment a bit on how these colors. Let me see if we're looking at the right spot. There we go. I'm going to try to get these colors to weather out for us. So I wanted to start by that's a good one for the weathering. I just want to touch up the top of this barrel because it's got a bunch of yellow showing through where I don't want it. Okay, there's the top. This is an old paint and the lid is screwed. Or, well, it doesn't work. So if I shake the bottle, it'll leak all over the place, which kind of sucks, but I'm going to use it up till it's done. And then throw it away. There's nothing worse than a bottle of paint that's done. You keep it around for no reason at all. Okay, so this is a MIG dark wash. The thing is, I believe this is linseed oil as a base. So what happens with this stuff is there's a lot of the acrylic wash material in there added with linseed oil, and then when you use it down to the bottom, you still have a bunch of the acrylic material at the bottom. So I added more linseed oil to this, and it kind of changed the consistency. Obviously I used the wrong oil, but it still works. So we're going to use this first because it's got the oil that I added, and I want to see how it's working on the large scale details. This is the bona fide source. The bona fide source. This is the brown wash, and is good for accenting rust or giving a nice patch of brown to begin rust, or it just gives a really nice thick. It's almost like a paint that has a nice, where the oil really feathers it off in the end, or is able to feather it off in the end, especially if you've got the wash, the thinner for washes, to which something that I also don't have much of, but I use straight alcohol, and when I find it, I'll use it. Actually, now, I've been doing this for a long time, and I know what some products are made of. And in the future, I'm going to test a thinner, homemade thinner that is half mineral water, and then a third of a cup of, half a cup of mineral water, a third of a cup of isopropyl alcohol, and a couple of drops of glycerin. And that's a nice thinner. And I imagine that it'll work with this, but I'll have to experiment with that. So we shook this up, we let it settle for a second, because we don't want to use, we don't want to make it a paint, we want it to be a nice wash. So I'm going to add this stuff around the outside to get into the edges here. Now move around, because you got to get this stuff to spread out. We started out adding too much, and we got to pull it away after a bit. That's wet paint, so can't touch that yet. I hit it with my sponge, and it kind of feathers it out, kind of makes it translucent. There you go. A little bit starting of some color, and then we'll get into the edge here. Because it's all spread out, it starts to spread out on its own because we used our sponge. If we just left it in the beginning there, it'd be a big dark patch. So we just get into here beside the cap. I have to clean up that cap a little bit. I don't like how that turned out. We'll go like this. Okay. Here we go. That's looking nice. Doesn't take much, does it? You know, we just want to give it some depth. So, well, actually, let's continue on in the black and see what happens when we go over top of black paint. Because I think this has a little bit of
brown texture, kind of like a grimy black texture. Well, not grimy black because that's kind of grayish. This is kind of a brown. I think that maybe even though this is black on black, we're going to get some depth. And then we're going to come back with some brown. I'm going a little thick with this because I kind of think it should be pronounced. Let's see what this does. I know you guys can't see that. It would be impossible, but it's. We're gonna try brown. Okay, so. So this is going to be a lot of color on the yellow, so I'm going to go light. I'm beginning to like that. Okay. There's a little blue spot here where the paint really didn't make it. Like the yellow paint really didn't cover the blue totally, so let's give that some color and see what that does. I moved to the fan brush because I was getting the texture off of the wedges, and I don't want a texture. I kind of want the wash to sit there and stay. Put this aside, and we'll seal this with a clear coat, satin clear coat. Now I might have to come back with some gel CA and create a lip around here. I don't know. Might just leave it. I don't know. So as you can see, the brown mixed with the black looks nice and rusty or oily. So all I'm doing here is kind of getting an oil, like if oil ever kind of spilled over this barrel, it would wash down with the rain and such. However, underneath the ribs there would be remnants, and or around the ridges there would be, you know, something there. That. I think I'm going to finish off these barrels with a bit of silver around the ribs, because I imagine these barrels got rolled from time to time. I didn't want to do that. Okay. See, the only problem is this barrel, the lip broke off there. And it is on an angle. Okay. So I have to touch up the door down here. Put door trim around here. Even if it is just a small block. And then, yeah.
Okay. Get sprayed down with water because we want our paint to penetrate the foam. If I didn't do that, there would be a lot more coats involved. Cutting surface tension is a major skill. And look how easy this paint is flowing around the layout, and I ask you, would it be this easy if I hadn't sprayed it with wet water? Didn't want to do that. Well, there's always somebody taking my glue. Well, actually, it's always right in front of me. One of the joys of being visually impaired. This is the thin glue. I want to have some full strength. Oh well. We'll go to the stores. Come on. Gotta be some in there. Okay. This board is the thickest on each side. Okay. All these are loose, and that's okay because, you know, I want to make shadow here throughout, and if I need to fix these, I'll fix these in a way from the top after. You know, adding a piece of furniture can easily push this piece down, or a carpet covering a certain area. So, I need a coffee. I don't know if this is the end. We'll see what kind of footage we have. And I'm going to take a break. Talk to you later.